Hi, this is Joan, and this is a still from the movie You People. Now, I knew that I wasn't going to like this movie, more than likely, and that's why it's taken me a while to actually watch it. So, someone told me, "Oh, it's so funny, you'll love it. Oh man, that was so great." And someone else said, I read a review or heard somebody else talk about how great Jonah Hill was, and I'm not familiar with him. I think I've seen him somewhere, but he hasn't been like on my scope seriously. Nothing against him, just didn't know much about him. And of course, I was correct. I really, truly didn't like this movie. Not at all. I think I found two lines in it funny, and I watched it about an hour ago, and I've already forgotten what those lines were. But this young lady, I'm pretty sure she was one who said something I thought was actually funny. But you already pretty much know the storyline. Lauren London and Jonah Hill love each other. He's Jewish American, I guess, and she is African American, I guess. She is actually biracial. And the thing is, it's really annoying to me that they keep calling biracial women black women and talking about how beautiful they are. Now, fine, it's a lot of beautiful biracial women, but there are also a lot of beautiful black women. So, if you're going to make a film about a Jewish guy who wants to marry a black woman, could you at least make her be a black woman, not a biracial woman? So I feel that basically there were only two black women here in this movie, and one was Nia Long, and the other was this young lady, Sam J, I think. Let me look that up. Now, this is Sam J. She and Nia Long were the only two black women in the movie. And to be truthful, I didn't know she was a woman until she was on an airplane with Eddie Murphy. And he called her, he said something about her being a dude or masculine. And her response was, "Hey, I got titties," which I think is vulgar, but vulgar is very popular now. But in any case, you only have two black women. One is from my generation, she's older. The other woman is younger, but you can't tell what sex she is until she tells you. Now, I know also that that is popular, but all throughout the movie should have been a great ego boost for Lauren London. Nothing against Lauren London, except why do you keep calling her black? She's not black. She's mixed or biracial. If you want to get a black woman, why is the only representation we have is of someone who you really can't tell what she is? And I don't mean that as an insult. The general identifiers to let you know what someone is. You can see more clearly in this picture, but in the movie, I truly didn't quite know what she was. Basically, this movie is telling you the same thing that a lot of other films, and I didn't forget about Eddie Murphy and his movies he made making fun of black women. They're telling you the same thing that black women are not sexy. Not in the traditional sense, at least. If you want a sexy black woman, don't get a black woman, go get a mixed woman. And I find that insulting, very much insulting. But that's not the only thing about this movie. The movie, you don't have to see this movie to know what this movie's going to tell you. They're going to show you a, a wonderful non-black guy. He's going to be like, he may not be the most attractive guy, but he's going to be kind and considerate. He's definitely not biased. He has no problem with anybody's race. His best friend is this black woman here, who of course she is a black woman. I think she did say she had titties. I'm guessing. I don't know. Even that is kind of like, are you saying that you are a woman? Are you transgender in this movie? I don't quite even know what that means, because a man can go have an operation and have titties. He can get fat, and he may not claim titties, but he could wear a bra if he wanted to a lot of the time. So I'm still not really sure. So like I said, the only representation black women had in this film was really Nia Long. Now Nia Long is beautiful, but the person that they said repeatedly, I didn't count how many times they told you that Lauren London is beautiful, but I think it had to be at least 10. It's like every time she showed up, you're beautiful. She showed up again, you're beautiful. She showed up again, you're beautiful and talented. And I kind of wondered, how do you know that? You're just meeting her. But okay, she is the epitome of I think mulatto is an insulting term. At least it was meant to be in the beginning. So I want to say you could say she's the epitome of mixed race beauty, but she is still not black. And I get really tired of black women not being in movies and other people being brought in, and you are told, well, this is a black woman. No, this is a mixed woman. There is a difference. It's as if when you bring on a mixed woman and say this is the epitome of black beauty, you're pretty much saying that it takes white ancestry to make black beautiful. And the problem is, the major problem black women have is that black men love this. And bringing on Eddie Murphy as someone who is a defender of black, that's weird. I mean, did you see his wives? He does not go darker than a paper bag. And the other guy, he was only in it for a few minutes. Let me remember who that was. In the beginning of the movie, Eddie Murphy here is talking about how he had a conversation with Louis Farrakhan, and he had a kofu on his head for most of the movie. Oh, and yeah, I don't think you can see it in the trailer. Let me see if I can find Nia Long for you. Because they tried to tell you that Nia Long's grandmother was the reason why Lauren London is so light. And I thought, you really do think everybody's retarded or something. Or, okay, this is Jonah Hill. This is a bona fide white man. He's Jewish, but he's definitely a white guy. This is Lauren London. So you're trying to tell me that Nia Long, who is brown to dark skin, and Eddie Murphy, who is darker than Nia Long, produced her, Lauren London here, who is pretty close to the same shade as him. You're trying to tell me because Nia Long's grandfather was non-black, that even though she's dark, she's had a baby with a dark man, they produced Lauren London. This is like, I don't know. I guess I knew I wasn't going to like this movie, but I tried. And I know that my opinion is very different from a lot of other people, because when I look at the comments from this trailer, they're all like, "Oh wow, this is such a great movie." And I'm like, "Did you see another movie? Because I didn't see great in this movie. I saw insulting. I saw insulting to black women in particular." And I don't know. I think maybe black women have been insulted for so long that nobody pays it much attention, even black women. So casting Lauren London and Nia Long as mother-daughter is absolutely brilliant casting. Good grief. The only way I honestly think, now I hear people say, well, black people can produce white children. And I kind of think they can produce albinos. But I think if you really get two black people together, their children are going to be black. I mean, I think that if I was a man, and I've said this before, and I married a woman and she brought home a child that was paler than both of us, I feel like you got some explaining to do, because I don't hate my black skin. So I'm not out there trying to produce something different and feeling that it is superior. I'm not saying anything negative about anybody's race. I'm just saying that personally, I think that if you really believe that two dark people can produce something light that is not an albino, maybe you should reconsider that. Now, like I said, I understand, just looking at the comments, that my opinion is in the map. And even look at this. Oh my gosh, you are so beautiful. That was the whole movie. The whole, what was it? An hour and a half, 2 hours of Lauren London. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so talented. Good grief. You would think they had never seen a biracial person before. And I also feel like, well, the thing I have with Hebrew Israelite men, especially, is they will scream and holler about how the white man has treated them and this, that, or the other. But then, especially this guy. Now, this guy, I do listen to his videos. I'll listen to a lot of Christian, Hebrew Israelite. I'll listen to videos because I think nobody has it completely correct. So I think you listen to a lot of people, you take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Now, if you don't agree, that's fine. The point I'm making is well, this particular group, the Gathering of Christ Church, is a popular site for the most part, and they preach this chart they have. And the thing is, the chart talks about these are the 12 tribes, and I think only 3 of the 12 tribes that they mention. Well, anyway, out of the 12 tribes, only 3 of them that they say are black. But then they'll say that they're following the Bible. They're Hebrew Israelites. And I have since made comments on their videos before about, well, then explain the books of Ezra and Nehemiah. I think even Deuteronomy, where they basically said that in order for a person to be an Israelite, they have to have an Israelite or Hebrew. They have to have a mother and a father. But they are quick to say, I think that Adam and Eve were black, but somehow 2 black people produced these pale people. Now, not saying anything against the pale people. I'm saying that what they're saying is contradictory. And the thing is, they are often contradictory. These people who say that they are representing the Bible, I don't know, maybe they added something else to it, but that doesn't add up. If Adam and Eve were black, Noah's black, so how did you come with all these white people among the 12 tribes? So that doesn't make sense, but it doesn't matter to them, no matter how many other people come up and say, yo man, your chart is inaccurate, this is not possible. They don't care, they just keep saying the same thing. And the major reason is because they don't want black women. I mean, they don't mind if, let's say you've got um 12 guys and 3 of them go for black women. The others are pretty much, in their opinion, to go and produce non-black children because they just simply don't like black. Now, you don't like black, that's fine, that's your thing, go do your thing, but don't say contradictory things because it's one thing to make a mistake, but if people come tell you, not one person, not 2 people, lots of people have come after them for this chart, but it doesn't stop them, so it makes me wonder what is their real agenda here. So back to this stupid movie. I thought it was stupid. I guess you have to say allegedly stupid or stupid in my opinion. It was kind of like when Meghan Markle married Prince Charles, and a lot of black women were like, oh, they're accepting us. No, they're accepting biracial. They're just bringing their children, their daughters, home. They're saying, hey, we don't mind a little sprinkling of darkness in there, but they're their daughters too. I cannot understand why people can't figure out that if you have a black and a non-black parent, you are not totally either one. You're mixed. You're pretty much 50% one, 50% the other. You can go and be with someone who is like you, who is 50% one or 50% the other, or you can go to black people or you can go to non-black people, but you're not black or white or non-black. You're mixed. You're 50-50. Now, this is Nia Long. Like I said, Nia Long is brown or dark skinned. Eddie Murphy is dark skinned, but you're telling me that they produced Lauren London, who is closer in complexion to the guy she's marrying than to either one of the parents she supposedly had. Now, we have been told about the one drop rule, and so many of us have accepted it that we don't even question it. And when you look at the people who are commenting on this, well, like I said, I'm totally in the minority and thinking that this film was insulting to black women. It pretty much did not present black women at all. It also told you that black people have a problem with their children marrying white people. From what I can see, from the years I've had of being black, I have not seen that. I have seen the opposite. Black people are often thrilled when their children go marry outside of their race. Black men in particular are thrilled when they marry or reproduce outside of their race. They don't have a problem like this movie presented. It was total fallacy. I think that I don't know. I think other races have more of a problem with intermarriage between black and non-black than black people do. Black people often consider it a step up, unfortunately. And the thing also with black men in general is they're quick to scream and holler about you're prejudiced against me. They're screaming at white people, white society. You're prejudiced against me. You did that because I'm black. But I hate them black women. Them black women, they ain't got no hair. They ain't pretty like yeah, and there was another scene where they did show a bunch of black women and brown skin, dark skin black women. I don't think it's in the trailer. And of course, they had to show that one of them was wearing a wig and it was accidentally torn off. So, yeah, if they have women who actually look black, it's got to be an insult in there somewhere. So, no, did not like the movie, did not like the plot, did not have to watch the movie to tell you what the plot was going to be. It's going to be a now, I didn't know if they were going to put a biracial or mixed woman in or actually show a black woman, but generally they don't show black women. And they haven't really talked about a brown skin or dark skin woman being pretty since Whitney Houston. And she was only, I think, in what was it, 2 movies. But I have never seen any movie since the 1940s. I wasn't here in the 1940s, but I used to watch old movies. But then they used to praise, and this was all white people. There were no black people too much in any beauty roles. Definitely not brown or dark skinned women. But then they did at least praise white women's beauty. They would show a woman and a man would look at her and go, oh, wow, this is the most beautiful woman in the world. I have no problem with that. I think that's nice. But even then, they didn't say it 50,000 times. Every time she showed up, you're so beautiful. She walked down the street, you're so beautiful. She went in the house, you're so beautiful. Okay, I get it. She's beautiful, in your opinion. I mean, I feel like when people keep repeating the same thing over and over, this is mind control or attempted mind control. You're trying to force me to believe something. I don't have to believe it. I have my own eyes. I can look for myself. So I think the movie was mind control. Of course, they told you the white guy was totally sensitive and wonderful. He wanted to pay her bills. And she's like, no, you don't pay my bills. I pay my own way. Yeah, you're going to turn down money. Okay, yeah, right. This movie sucks, in my opinion. Allegedly, I truly didn't like it. I truly understand. Okay, that's just your opinion. Well, yep, that's my minority opinion. Didn't like it. Knew at the end they were gonna get back together. Knew it before I even turned it on. Had a general idea I wasn't gonna like it. Don't really like Eddie Murphy. Not that I know the man, but didn't like him back in the 80s, didn't like him in the 70s when he was on Saturday Night Live. I feel like he is extremely insulting to black women, and he hasn't really changed. And to try to, well, you connected him with Farrakhan, who most people don't remember this, but Farrakhan came out once and said, yeah, he dated black women and some of them were really ugly. So, this is the person who is your leader. This is the person you're trying to tell me that this character, played by Eddie Murphy, follows Farrakhan, and he has a problem with somebody marrying white. Your daughter already looks half white because in real life, the woman playing her probably is. So, how in the world are you going to tell me you have some sort of a problem with your daughter marrying outside when she will produce children who probably will not look at all black? The movie was just stupid if you really think about it, and maybe that's the whole thing. You're not supposed to think about it. But if you don't think about it, the mind control will get you. And you'll walk down the street and you'll see anybody who looks like Lauren London, and you will automatically say, beautiful, beautiful, we all need to mix. Now, if you want to mix, that's on you. That's your own business. I don't have anything to say about it. But good grief, this is just, it gets more ridiculous every day, and yet they say it's not ridiculous. And when you look at it and you say it's ridiculous, everybody looks at you like, well, why aren't you following the protocol? And that's because this is insulting. It's really, really insulting. Eddie Murphy thinks of black women. This is the 2009 movie Norbit, where he dressed up like a black woman. This is him, and was basically, look at the expression on his face when he is around himself dressed like a black woman. It's just insulting. Eddie Murphy, he has never come out and said, oh wow, I'm so sorry I did that. No. And then you come make this movie like you have some sort of pride that encompasses black women. Maybe you have pride in being a black man, maybe. It seems to me that based upon the women that you marry, you want very much to get out of being black. You marry mixed. You have your children with mixed. Fine, not a problem. But to have you presented as someone who would have a problem with a child marrying white, I think it's just ludicrous. This is still the trailer, and it is showing you Jonah Hill talking to Hal Linden, who is an older Jewish actor. They had a few older Jewish actors here in this beginning scene. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because I think from the very beginning, they're showing you the differences in cultures. That this non-black person, and I think it's non-black pretty much every description, Jewish, non-Jewish, or whatever. Could be wrong, you can let me know. But I think they're showing you that they expect them to have a girlfriend so that they can have a wife. And that's very different than how black men are socialized. They're socialized basically to go play around with black women, but when it comes time to marry, you want to get the woman who has the most, let's see, how do I put it? She's economically feasible, she's attractive, and everything. But when you start making really big money, she is your come up. You go off and you marry outside of your race. So other races, especially I think the Jews, the people in Israel, they have been known for not wanting to marry outside and always asking, well, is she Jewish? You don't really have that in the black race. And this movie trying to say you do, it's kind of like someone just blatantly telling you a story. And you're like, no, that's not how it works. These men would be thrilled to have their daughter go marry a white man. If you're a black woman and you want a black man to date you, one of the things you could do is tell them that you usually only date white men. They will like that because it means that, oh, I'm good enough. I'm good enough for somebody who only thinks white people are good enough usually. And that is sad. And no other race does that. But this race does, the black race does. And I don't know. I can't really put into words exactly how much the odd thing is, I didn't even dislike the movie that much. I thought it was a stupid movie. I guess you have to say alleged to everything now. My opinion was that it was a stupid movie. It was allegedly a stupid movie. It was all movies are some form of mind control. This one was blatant, hitting you over the head with biracials are beautiful and black women are indistinguishable from men unless they're Nia Long and then they're okay. But she's from a further back generation. So to me, it was just one long insult, one long, almost boring insult. I thought two lines were funny. I think when the woman, Sam Joy, at the wedding, they seated her with the white people, and she was like, well, I kind of think for aesthetic purposes or something, he could have at least, her best friend is Jonah Hill. And she was saying, well, he's a wonderful man, he's my best friend, but I kind of think he could have set me with the black people. I did think that was kind of amusing. And there was one other line, but like I said, it has escaped me at the moment. But you can watch it, but good grief, I'm pretty sure if you're over the age of 12, you can pretty much figure how this is going to end. You can figure out what they're going to do. It's just a matter of how they're going to do it. It's just the destination is the same. If you well, it's basically telling white men to marry biracial women. I don't have a problem with that. They're your daughters. Marry them if you want. If you don't, whatever. But calling them black women, I think, is just wrong. And I really would like to not have to hear about she's a beautiful black woman. She's might be a beautiful woman in your opinion, but she's simply not black. She is mixed. But you guys, you have your own opinion. You can, like I said, I admit my opinion is definitely the minority. I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was stupid. Um, and I hope I'm allowed to say that. If not, I'll take it down. It's not that important. But I don't know. It's like they used to say back in the day. It's the world we live in. You guys have a great rest of your day.